What is up, review preview fans? Back at it here with another off-season video. This one pertaining to the NBA, and I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and what they've done in NBA free agency. It's been somewhat of a quiet off-season. Not many superstars change teams in the league, but the one question I want to ask folks is: did the LA Lakers win NBA free agency? And it's surprising to say that because of all the star-studded talent and how they're going to manage it with the cap. But you know what? Um, the biggest move they've made so far was re-signing Anthony Davis to a 3-year, $186 million max contract extension. And AD played a pivotal role in the Western Conference playoffs, specifically the Western Conference semifinals. He was the catalyst on the offense over LeBron James, had 26 points per game, 12 and a half rebounds, 2 blocks, and a career high 56% field goal percentage this season at age 30. He just turned 30 in March. You signed him to a 3-year extension. He had 2 years left on his deal originally, so AD will be a Laker until he is 35 based off this contract. So it'll be interesting to see if that sticks, how much longer LeBron plays, because anytime you see something happen with AD contract-wise, you have to wonder, well, is LeBron going to go for another 5 years? Who knows, right? So we'll have to see what happens there. I think Davis was a great signing. Once again, that is a 3-year, $186 million max contract extension. And I got so excited. I got too far ahead of myself. Before I get into the next edition, folks, if you like what you watch here at Review Preview Sports, you can check us out on all of our social media. I'll leave the ticker scrolling for just a moment, but the next move, and what I think is the most important move for the Los Angeles Lakers, was re-signing Austin Reaves. 4 years, $56 million. There was rumors this guy could command up to $100 million. False. He took a team-friendly deal, and you love to see this with a guy who, quite frankly, was their third scoring option in the playoffs. They got him cheaper than most thought. The deal will start at $12.4 million next season, which includes a raise throughout each season. And he'll start in the backcourt with D'Angelo Russell. This guy was named to the 2023 USA men's national team. He's on the World Cup team. He had a breakout sophomore year in the NBA, shot the ball 53% from the field, 40% from three, 86% from the foul line. Anytime you go over 50, 40, 80, that's really good. Averaged 13 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and he averaged 17 points per game in the playoffs. So Austin Reaves really came on when the stars were shining bright in the NBA playoffs. And although the Lakers did eventually fall short to the Denver Nuggets, I thought Austin Reaves played a pivotal role in them getting as far as they did. Next up is Roy Hachimura, right? Another guy who you can start if you're the Lakers. You can bring him off the bench as the sixth man. This guy was acquired via the Wizards a while back, but I like this deal for Hachimura. He's 25, acquired in late January from the Wizards. In the playoffs, averaged over 12 points per game, 56% from the field, 48% from deep, and 3.5 rebounds per game. So this is a guy who can flood the stat sheet for you. He can stretch the floor, be a modern, prototypical big man in the NBA. You put him out there in that front court with AD and LeBron, it's a nightmare for opposing teams. Now, I want to get into one other move, and that's bringing D'Angelo Russell back. I think having Russell back is huge for the Lakers. 2 years, $37 million. Originally drafted number 2 overall by the Lakers in 2015. He's still just 27 years old, folks. 17.5 points per game this last season. He did shot 48% from the field, but his numbers really dipped in the playoffs. And again, those numbers I just mentioned to you were in 17 regular season games after the trade. So, yes, his numbers dipped in the playoffs. He really struggled against the Nuggets, but this is a guy you want leading your backcourt for sure. Hopefully he has a better postseason next year, barring the Lakers make it. All right. Now, the external moves. The 2 biggest external moves the Lakers made were Gabe Vincent and Jackson Hayes. Now, Gabe Vincent was brought in on a 3-year, $33 million deal. Former point guard for the Miami Heat. He was a very well-developed player there. He will be the backup point guard most likely. Vincent is a California native, so I'm sure this was a desired destination for him. He went undrafted back in 2018, spent 2 years in the G League, picked up by the Heat in 2020. He spent the last 4 seasons for him, and he broke out in this year's playoffs. I mean, the Heat had to run all the way to the NBA Finals. They knocked off the Milwaukee Bucks. They took care of business against the Knicks, and then they got past the Celtics. So, getting to the NBA Finals alone was impressive. Unfortunately, they've lost 2 out of the last 4 years in the NBA Finals, but at least they're getting there. Now, the question is, how can they get over the hump without Gabe Vincent? Because Gabe Vincent was a really good player. I think he'll be fine with the Lakers. He'll be awesome. Started all 22 postseason games for the Heat. Again, solid three-point shooter. The one concern with Gabe Vincent is his injuries. He started just 34 games in the regular season. So we'll see if Gabe Vincent can be a consistent contributor for LA. Next up is Jackson Hayes. 2-year deal they struck. He's an excellent shot blocker, rim protector. He runs the floor well for a guy his size. He's still just 23 years old. Was the number 8 overall pick in the 2019 draft. He played the fewest minutes of his career last year, averages 13 minutes per game in only 47 contests. It's interesting, right? Because you're looking at this front court now. You have AD, you have Hachimura. LeBron can play the 4 if you need him to. You add Jackson Hayes. You bring back Jared Vanderbilt. You add Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish. Some really good stuff. I know Hayes didn't play as much last year, but New Orleans, they got Zion, Valanciunas. There's guys there that can play good minutes. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with Jackson Hayes with the Lakers, to see if he gets some starts. Because we all know AD, if he trips over something, he's out for 3 weeks. So typically how it goes with him. And I think the Lakers know that, which is why they also brought back Jared Vanderbilt, the guy who started 24 games last year for LA, still just 24 years old, out of Kentucky. He was acquired from the Jazz last year via trade, a guy who can average about 8 and 8 for you, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Really solid player. I like him a lot. Couple other moves. Lakers added Taurean Prince on a 1-year deal and Cam Reddish on a 2-year vet minimum deal for forward depth. Prince, long player with size. We all know he can guard the wings. He's an above-average defender. He's a very good three-point shooter. Last year with the Timberwolves, he was pretty solid. He shot a three-point shot at 38%. Now Cam Reddish is a guy who has disappointed in 4 NBA seasons, averaging 9.7 points per game, shooting the ball 40% from the field, and 32% from 3. He played decent in his short time with the Portland Trail Blazers, but not good enough for him to garner a new contract there. So I'm interested to see if Reddish can save his career with Los Angeles. But folks, that's going to do it for this first NBA free agency recap video that I'm doing here. Appreciate you all watching. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Review Preview Sports. Ring the bell for notifications. Give us a thumbs up. And I'll catch you all on the next video.